Let's
This is
begin
what I
season
get for
3
trusting
and
Konami's website. No one's ever gonna let this one go. Even
make
after my
one
channel
mistake
dies
and
and
everyone-
falls
and
into
no one lets you live
obscurity,
it
I'm never
down.
heard from again. People will still message me. Do you know that anti-magic arrows was in Duel Links? Yes, I'm very well aware. Thank you. Welcome to part 1 of Everything
Where'd
Wrong
you
with
know how to
Yu-Gi-Oh!
use it?
Season 3.
Oh,
This
jeez.
one will be only covering the Kaiba family arc.
So
now,
it's just
before
gonna be
making
this
this
all
video,
time.
I hadn't watched it since the original air date, and from what I can tell, that no one likes this arc, and I completely understand why, because it's fucking garbage. I'm gonna try to not
I
mention
like
when
parts of
cards
this arc. I do
don't
like the
exist for the
Kaiba
most part,
backstory
unless
and
it
all that jazz.
absolutely demands it. Like, the characters get some sort of really bullshit unfair advantage, because that's what I was going for
Like a
in the
Deck Master's
original
ability?
3 episodes that I've done so far, but granted, I did a really poor job of explaining that, so people came off as, this is just filling time, which it pretty much was from that standpoint. Now, in this scene, you can clearly tell that 4Kids is reusing frames to fit Kaiba's monologue, since it's a flat shot with nothing moving around except for his
Kaiba's
mouth.
mouth.
Dubbing studios use this trick a lot, especially people who make abridged series on YouTube, like Team 4-Star. The trick is to take one frame where their mouth is open, one frame where their mouth is half closed, and then one frame where their mouth is fully closed. So then you can keep splicing them in together to create the illusion of mouth movement, to fit whatever kind of dialogue your character needs.
Though to be
I'm
fair,
really
though, it's
shocked
more
that
acceptable
4Kids
for a
left
British
in the
series,
whole
you
making
know?
machines of war plot point, but I guess that'd be too much for them to actually edit out.
Yeah.
Situation is
Oh my
worse
good
than
God.
ever. We're losing altitude rapidly.
The bridge series is
Did
some
the audio
random guy on
director make these
YouTube,
people
whereas, you
do
know,
these really silly
it's an actual
voices to make
company.
them sound tough for kids? Could they not have just got deep voice people? I bet there are plenty of desperate voice actors out there who have a deep voice who'd be willing to do a guard for this.
Yeah, but that would
He
cost
looks like
money.
someone's OC from their fan fiction. James, the long-lost prince of all Saiyans, brother to Vegeta, the most badass character ever.
He's
He's
even
way
got Kaiba's
stronger,
own
way cooler
hairstyle.
than Vegeta ever was, and everyone just can't resist loving him.
Oh, jeez.
Your decision?
If they were gonna change and edit anything, I should have expected this.
Yeah.
Gansley, Rump,
Will build a great wall.
Johnson, Nesbitt, and Lecter.
I'm not sure if the English names for the Big Five were supposed to be business tycoon references, but we're just gonna go ahead and assume they are. This
Sure.
whole arc honestly could have been avoided if Kaiba just fired them originally in Season 1.
But if we defeat you in Noah's virtual arena, then we'll return to the real world in your body.
How exactly is beating them in a duel supposed to allow you to body snatch them? I don't get why Tay
shut
is
up.
getting so freaked out over hologram Kaiba. They're completely
Oh, I
aware
love
they're in a
Kaiba's
computer.
reasoning.
It's time for us to demonstrate the new dueling rules.
Oh boy, we get new rules. You know what that means? More bullshit. The Deckmaster
Why would you
idea
have
was
a-
a pretty cool concept.
Why would
It
you have
kind
a
of
fake
reminds me of how
version
your
of your-
Pokemon follows you around Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Why would
Or
you have
they
a-
actually
why
pulled
would you
this
do a
off
fake
well.
version of
It
yourself?
does seem pretty
Who
OP
better?
that they can just summon their Deckmaster whenever they want. What if they just made the God cards their Deckmasters? Does that just allow them to skip their whole summoning requirements?
It has its own special ability.
Well, this is clearly going to foreshadow everything that's going to have a new ass pole with a special ability.
Yep.
Never broken a promise to you.
Except when you didn't show up to the hospital. How exactly are they
Oops.
getting put into this machine? The room is basically just a hologram projection.
With a
How is
bunch
it
of
creating holes
pitfalls.
that they're falling into, getting sucked into the virtual world? I guess I'm just gonna have to accept the fact that they're gonna have a lot of dumb science
now
bullshit
Yu-Gi-Oh's
that
ripping
doesn't
off
make any
Digimon.
sense because the writers didn't feel like explaining it.
Yeah. Sounds about
Your
right.
cards aren't valid in this world.
Why isn't Yugi's deck valid? Why would he have to make a new one? Is this because the
Even
show
though he
is
just
technically
basically
just
makes
a
his old
22-minute
deck?
ad for the card game? But that doesn't really make sense because other than like a few minor changes, the deck is essentially the same thing as he had in Battle City. Hey bitch, don't disrespect
Yeah, minus a
Karibo like
card or
that.
two.
I guess the gang is the only thing that's keeping Joey sane. So the first
Wouldn't
idiot of the
surprise
Big
me.
Five is the business strategist, so as a metaphor for destroying other businesses and taking whatever they please because
Looks
they
at
have money,
Konami.
he just rips all the cards out of Yugi's hand and forces him to send to the graveyard. Pretty original, isn't it?
Yep.
We're so smart and witty. How did the axe make that X mark on the wall? And if it wasn't him, then what made it? Because
And
it
now
wasn't
I'm
in the
stuck.
previous shot, as you can see right here. For some reason in the dub, they made it so Yugi couldn't understand Karibo, but in the Japanese version, he can.
You'll never make it in the dueling business,
To make
kid.
it more-
But he did
To
beat
make it more of a
Pegasus, who
problem?
was cheating and using dark Egyptian magic. Also, the evil Egyptian god card.
Extra
I
layer
think
of problems?
he might be
Yeah.
a little qualified if you ask me. So this is
Does it make
before
sense for Yugi
Kaiba
to
was
understand
completely
Doodle
dead
Lot?
inside. Wow.
Software that
had a
interacts with a
personality.
person's memory.
How does this virtual software tap into your memories?
Remove, Moki.
Do you think Kaiba created the Moki card
I was gonna
after
say.
Mokuba because he used to call him Moki when they were kids?
Look, I
That
don't
just
want
makes
any of these
frickin'
brats touching me.
The big
It must be pretty hard to maintain the lie that goes
Lebowski
aboard
more
as such a nice,
confusing.
charitable guy when he acts like a piece of shit in public all the time. Oh, look, they censored the face of the zombie on premature burial.
That makes
he
it
can
okay.
only run at max 3 Ruklamba, so you just gotta go over the next one and then you're set. I like to imagine a world where Tristan landed on one of the horn blades. Did I miss something? How did he summon the Wall of Illusion during Yugi's turn?
He
It
cheated.
doesn't have any effect that allows him to, unlike
No, he
Ruklamba,
cheated.
and he didn't take any damage, so he couldn't summon another one of those either.
He
Oh,
cheated.
come
He
on,
just
they weren't
straight
even
said, "Oh, I
trying
summoned
to
it when
make
you
that
weren't
look like a
looking,"
card.
essentially.
The Rock was actually supposed to cut Teia's face, but 4Kids edited it out. That's why they keep cutting back to this in later episodes, and it doesn't really make any sense why they put so much emphasis on her cheek.
Shit.
Time for plot armor.
Yeah.
So, did Yugi just know that Karibo would have saved him? Why would he have swapped out with Yami to save him from the blast and just fucking die?
He does
What would have
this in the
happened? Yami
Orichalcos
is the
arc, too.
spirit. He can't just die again. Yugi's just killing himself for no reason. For those who are
He's
telling me
basically
that
smart.
I'm over-exaggerating the plot armor, did none of you remember when Karibo turned to a rainbow and then made a bridge that Gaia climbed over so he could attack Gansley directly and win the duel? Just jump, bitch. No one will miss you. How is a penguin
That's
exactly
mean.
holding these cards?
I'm more than
virtual
90% sure
reality.
it's a trap.
Wow, a face-down card being a trap. Only a genius could have ever predicted that one.
Teia's
out,
still a
Crump.
beginner, don't
Hurry
you?
up, Big
To be
Breath, it's
fair.
freezing!
How come she never mentioned how cold she was until the duel started? She rode here on a raft through the Antarctic. If Dark Magician Girl
So we
didn't
now realize it
intervene,
was
Taya
cold
would have just
outside.
lost right here.
Yep.
The face-down card she destroyed was originally Gust in the Japanese version, but in the dub they changed it to Mirror Wall.
That's good
That's
for nothing.
odd.
Shut down my dream.
Why the fuck would you ever think a CEO of a card game company would want to listen to your idea of opening a zoo of an all-penguin theme? If you wanted to climb the corporate ladder to do this, I think you joined the wrong company. Those have to be the fakest looking cards I've seen in this show in a while.
Yeah,
Magic
what the
formula
fuck,
can only
Bolt
be equipped
Penguin?
to Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl.
That's nice.
Here goes. I summon Gazelle.
Yugi isn't actually looking at his cards. How did he know it was going to be Gazelle? Is
Magic.
he stacking his deck? Yugi
Probably.
can just draw cards with no limit while going through this hallway. Why didn't he just search out Heavy Storm out of his deck earlier? Or
He's an
whatever
idiot.
he needed to get through these trials instead of wasting all this time trying to get to Taya? If he really wanted to, why not just summon Gaia and ride him through the hallways since you're having such a hard time running through them all with your short ass
We
legs?
can't ride our
Why doesn't
cards?
Yugi
That'd
just
be
summon a
ridiculous.
monster to destroy the ice? Surely he has something in his deck that can do that.
He doesn't run any
I
fire
must first
monsters.
invoke my
I
Deck
don't
Master
think.
special ability
No, he doesn't
to
run any
call
fire
upon
monsters.
every monster in your graveyard, Taya.
I thought her Deckmaster ability was able to communicate with Taya. Just how many does she have?
All of
Apparently
them.
the Sage's Stone is allowing Taya to summon Dark Magician
From
from
Yugi's
Yugi's
deck.
If he wasn't nearby,
Also,
what would have happened? Would it just
How come Dark
magically
Magician
been
gets to break
sucked out
the
of
ice,
his
but
deck
not
during the
Yugi?
middle of his duel or off his field onto hers? Guess
Oh,
they're
right,
fully
Yugi
committed
does
to
break
having
it.
Flame Swordsman as a normal monster
Dark
now.
Magician does
Is this
break
supposed to be some sort of metaphor of giving an idiot a huge amount of money? They just blow it all in stupid shit without realizing the consequences?
Would not
Well,
shock
here's
me.
the first example of really bullshit made-up cards for a specific duel. This gives Johnson such an unfair advantage to keep fueling his Deckmaster's ability infinitely.
If it wasn't for that trap card,
Joey just called Sinister Justice a trap card, yet you could clearly see it's a spell card.
Oops.
Did no one at 4Kids catch this when they were recording audio? How the fuck is Johnson changing the dice roll?
VR.
I play my pot of greed card. Now, I'm able to draw 2 new cards.
Here we go again.
Well, it's gonna have
You
to get
don't
used to
deserve
it.
that prize, Johnson. Not after what you just pulled.
Were there extra
so
lip claps?
he is a cheater.
Holy shit, Noah actually stepped in and called
Maybe
out his
it's just to
subordinate for
avoid
cheating?
copyrights.
I'm genuinely fucking surprised this is happening.
Yeah,
While it's
really.
nice and all that Noah is calling them out on their bullshit, if you're going to these lengths to win and beat Kaiba, then why are you letting something as stupid as pride stop you? Just let win and take Kaiba Corp.
I'm willing to
Ah,
forgive Judge
well, at least
Crusoe,
it's just-
as long as he
At least we
agrees
have
to
a
do it
good,
fair and
somewhat
square.
good
Now
villain. At
Joey's
least,
being
you know,
stupid.
no
Just
one
take
knows,
the
hey,
win.
follow the
Why put
fucking
your body
rules.
in the line for something as meaningless as this?
Hey, what makes you think I don't know how my own magic card works.
Because
yes,
you're
Joey,
Joey Wheeler.
you've shown multiple times that you have no idea how your deck works, let alone the whole game itself. So what would happen if Joey didn't draw a monster from Arduous Decision? Granted, he is probably the most likely to draw a monster considering his deck is about 90% monsters. If this is supposed to be a lab that makes military weapons, do you think it's a really good idea to just blow it up?
Cyber Commander, go! Don't be a fool, Tristan! I got a saber!
Tristan can't just redirect an attack at him.
I just
When
did.
Duke chooses Strike Ninja as his deck master, it shows that it's a level 5 monster with 2,350 attack and 2,200 defense. But in the actual game, it's level 4 with 1,700 attack and 1,200 defense.
How odd.
While I was fact checking to see if Short Circuit was a real card or not, I found all these alternate arts where the clock arms were in different positions.
Monster special ability allows me to play this card face down.
So how does everyone seemingly know what their own deckmaster ability is right away?
They read the
Even
card
the people who
description.
don't even know how to duel know it. It took Yugi 3 whole episodes of him almost losing until Karibo intervened by itself and activated it to save him. Why is the person that's supposed to be the best duelist in the game seem to know the least about it? Oh man, you know the execs at 4Kids wanted to censor the fuck out of this scene, but they couldn't figure out how to without massive edits and redrawing of scenes.
I'm changing this card game into a dice game.
Guess you can't have a Duke Devlin duel without shoehorned in dice-related cards.
Nope.
Do you think he gave Pegasus the good suck to get some dungeon dice cards in the game?
Would not be surprised if he's reading grades for dice.
Even Nesbit is skeptical about this dice bullshit.
Yeah.
Where do they keep getting the art for all these made-up cards? They're getting worse and worse as the show is going on.
Oh,
There's no logic to this dice game at all.
Is this an attempt of self-awareness from the show by calling out the randomness of this dice bullshit?
Yeah.
I know you mere mortals couldn't stand up to the power of a high-tech machine like me.
But you're just a person inside a computer. Is he LARPing right now, or does he honestly believe
He's
he's a robot?
LARPing.
Maybe he's had too much time in this virtual world.
Hey, he's been in virtual world for God knows how long. Let him have a little
I
fun.
hated every second of it.
If you hated Kaiba so much, why not just quit and work for another military development company? I find it hard to believe
Kaiba
that
pays
Kaiba
well.
Corp was the only weapons R&D company in the world.
I have the ability to combine 2 or more of your monsters together without the need for a polymerization card.
It sure is awfully convenient your deckmaster just happens to be able to do that.
Tristan still has a card face down on the field.
Why are Tristan's cards still on the field when he's already lost and out of the duel?
That's a good question, but
They made a monkey out of me!
I feel that it's a huge missed opportunity to have Joey as the monkey. That would have been a lot funnier.
Yeah.
He just bent the shit out of his one Blue Eyes card.
Wait a sec! You're not Tristan, you phony!
What gave it away? The fact that he sounds completely different? This must be
why
like the
the voice
5th or
change?
6th time that Mokuba's been taken.
I like how
How the
Tristan
fuck
gets
are
to
you
keep
gonna
his
have a card that
motorcycle
just
skills,
blinds
though.
one of the players?
Looks like you've attacked your own monster.
You also just can't attack your own monster.
Unless that's
No
the
one
effect of
else
the
can
card.
ever have more cards than you as long as you own 51
I like
out
how
of
half
100.
of the-
If you can do that, you'll control the company.
Oh wow, an actual lesson in business.
Why should I buy the company back at 10 times the price?
Because if you don't, I'll shut this place down, leaving all your employees jobless.
What would have
Seto
happened if they just
Kaiba,
said no?
ruthless
How does
asshole.
Joey know how to drive? They're still freshmen in high school. Oh my fucking god, that looks like garbage.
My satellite cannon is virtually unreachable.
It can't be beat!
Why does he have to be able to reach the satellite in the sky in order to attack it? Could he not just hit the gauge on the ground? Also,
Well,
you can
satellite
destroy it with any monster above level 7, as it's stated in the Japanese version, but for some reason they changed it in the dub.
Most horrible day of my life.
What about all the times that you were kidnapped and locked in Pegasus's creepy
Well, you get
sex
used to
dungeon?
that after
So
a
you
while.
used Mokuba as a pawn.
Why would Kaiba go through this whole convoluted scheme? He could just ask Mokuba for the 2%. Come on, Mokuba, you're not that fucking stupid.
You see, guys, Lecter has to give up his life points to activate his best cards.
Wow, thanks for explaining this, Yugi. It's
Yeah,
not
the
like they've been
original
saying this
psychic
the whole
monsters.
entire duel.
I wonder if this is where the
Now I
inspiration for
understand
Psychic
Kaiba's
Monsters
game
came
plan.
from.
You're only understanding now, Duke? They've only been explaining every single move they make this entire duel. How could you not be
Also, we
following
lost.
I'm coming, Mokuba!
I guess in virtual
TMI.
space, the laws of gravity don't apply. and
It
you
is
don't
badass,
care.
though.
Honestly believe your brother is coming to rescue you.
Of course he's going to come get you. If he really wanted to abandon you, he would have just left you in Pegasus's creepy sex dungeon in Season 1.
Get a life.
Was that supposed to be directed at me? How did Mokuba fall for this? You could literally see Kaiba still on the screen in front of you. If Noah could brainwash people,
Mokuba's
why not
smart.
just do that to begin with? Does no one else find it really weird that Monkey Tristan is rubbing his face in Serenity's chest?
I'm surprised I didn't get into
For all
that.
we know, you're Noah's pet baboon.
Why not just have Monkey Tristan say something only the real Tristan would know?
You
My
just
voice
stood
gives
there
me
and
super
watched while they
strength.
took me away, Seto.
But you were taken by someone driving a motorcycle. What was he supposed to do there? How come after
Throw
Mokuba
blue eyes at
displays
him.
that he has complete faith in Seto, one scene later he's like, ah, fuck it, Seto's evil, and completely succumbs to the brainwashing? Why does Noah even need Mokuba on his side in the first place? All he wants to do is prove that he's
Mind
the true
games.
successor to Kaiba Corp. Why not just duel him? If you wanted to
We're gonna
steal
get to
all
that
their
later.
bodies, why not just brainwash them to begin with and skip this whole fucking hassle?
I am Gozaburo's one true son.
Noah
If
has that
he's
power?
Gozubora's true son, then why does he look like a palette swap of Kaiba?
Because he is,
You?
technically.
That's the oldest trick in the duel book. There's too much at stake here to try a lame move like that, Yug.
Yami, are you just gonna be talked down to by a retard like Joey? I guess on the Dragon Bean's attack, it gets this nice little monocle.
It's Jinzo. My trap cards are useless.
How did you forget his deck master was Jinzo? You just saw his duel 30 minutes ago.
Not good at memory.
Looks like she's only got 400 attack points, Lecter.
Did he also forget Injection Fairy Lily, which was also in the last duel? You can only
Not good at
activate
memory.
Sebek's blessing when you attack directly. But Jinzo stops
it's not
all
continuous.
traps. You can't just have his be not negated. Five-Headed Dragon is not a ritual monster. We've even seen it as a fusion the last time they were in the digital world.
Well, the good news is
Ritual
Lecter's
sounds
dragon
cool, right?
can't attack until his next turn.
But I thought the forced attack restriction only applies to fusion monsters, but in the context of the episode, it's a ritual monster, so what the fuck is going on?
They wrote themselves into a corner.
destroys every one of your magic, trap, and monster cards as soon as it's summoned.
Five-Headed
so it's
Dragon
the
doesn't
original
destroy
Zark.
everything on the field when it's summoned. They even referenced the last time they fought it, so it's not like they forgot. So where are these new effects coming from? I guess they could just play
writer's
hot
ass.
potato with who their deck master is.
Yep.
But you should still lose, because your deck master's gone.
I could say the same thing for you too, Joey.
Mirage Knight only stays in play for one attack, Joey.
That's why it
Then it
shits.
splits into the two original monsters that were used to summon it.
Mirage Knight doesn't split back into the material used, it just banishes itself on end phase.
That would've been better.
because they would have automatically lost then.
Yeah,
Now
they
I
wrote
get
themselves
it.
into a corner again.
Was that really so hard to figure out, Taya? Did they run out of budget for the animation, so they just made a slideshow with a grain filter over it to
Wouldn't
make it
shock
seem like
me.
there's some sort of motion? I love how Flame Swordsman's face embodies how I feel about this whole entire arc so far. When Joey and Yugi were first making their new decks after being sucked into the virtual world, did they just put a bunch of cards in their deck expecting that they were going to be put into a tag duel together? If not, then why
Maybe.
did they put all these fusion cards in their deck they can't make on their own? Like, did Joey just put Knight's title in his deck to fill up space? In the Japanese version,
He put
Noah just
Cyber Harpy in
deletes the
there.
big five after they fail him for the last time.
Everyone knows it's you trapped in there, dude.
Did I miss a scene where they start believing Tristan now after they wouldn't before and they tied him up? It's awfully convenient that Tristan just happened to be put into the device that can move the plot forward.
This is real life, Joey.
Except that everyone is completely aware that they're in a virtual world and this isn't real at all. Come on, even Kaiba's getting predictable. Every match he just tries to crush card virus. His name is Noah and his deck master is an Arc. He washed
Bible
away all of the
reference.
monsters on the field and in their hands with a giant tidal wave and stores all the monsters in his Arc. I understand why some of you might not get it. You have to have a very high IQ to understand Yu-Gi-Oh! The humor is very extremely subtle. Without a solid grasp of theoretical
funny thing
dueling,
is,
most of
it
the
did
jokes
take me
will
a
go
long time to
typically
figure
right
out-
over
Oh,
viewers' heads.
that's
There's
what they
also
were
Kaiba's
doing.
nihilistic outlook, which is deftly woven into his characterization. His personal philosophy heavily draws from Patrick Hoban literature, for instance.
boy.
The fans understand this. They have to have the intellectual capacity to truly appreciate the depths of these jokes, to realize they're not just funny, they say something deep about life and dueling. As a consequence, people who dislike Yu-Gi-Oh! Truly are idiots. Of course, they wouldn't appreciate, for instance, the humor in Seto's existential catchphrase, "Draw your last pathetic card so I can end," which is a cryptic reference to Doug Zeef's articles, which you can find on tcgplayer.com.
Oh, boy.
I'm smirking right now just imagining one of those addle-pated simpletons scratching their heads in confusion as 4Kids' genius wit unfolds itself on their television screens. What fools, how I pity them, crying emoji. And yes, by the way, I do have a Yu-Gi-Oh! Tattoo. And no, you cannot see it. It's for the ladies' eyes. Oh,
Oh,
I can't
boy.
even keep this shitty joke going anymore.
Thank you.
God, I hate my life.
Because now you realize that I'm more intelligent than you.
I just keep making up bullshit that keeps giving me advantages like my deck master.
Yep.
Apparently 4 kids added the red glow to Mokuba's eyes to signify that he was brainwashed. I guess they thought we were too stupid to realize this on our own. Can you stop insulting my intelligence, 4 kids?
Need to summon the most powerful beast of the Ice Age, Seto.
The most powerful beast of the Ice Age, it only has 800 attack.
Oh man, that's nuts!
Guys, seriously, it only has 800 attack. It's not that special. What happened to the whole I must prove that I am better than Seto in order to take back what's rightfully mine?
I'm gonna pull
Why are you
what
throwing
you
that out
did
now
in
and
this
just saying,
kingdom.
fuck it, I'm holding Mokuba hostage until I get what I want?
You're so quick to give in to your competition.
You currently have Kaiba's only kryptonite. If it wasn't for that, he would have blasted your ass to Windows 10.
Look inside your heart and you'll remember him!
Why is it Yugi's voice the only one that's getting through to Mokuba? Is it because it's high-pitched and annoying?
Character.
Just kidding, Dan Green, I love you. Kaiba's cards were on the ground in the last shot.
He duels with honor and respect.
Except when he threatens to kill himself when he was dueling you in Duelist Kingdom, or how he talks down to everyone he ever duels. Yeah, such an honorable player that plays with such respect. You can really tell how much the animators hate this arc because the animation quality is dipping through the fucking floor. So then it's revealed that they're actually just in the computer chairs from last time they were in the virtual world. What did Noah and the Big Five exactly gain from making them think that they were sucked into this virtual world the whole time?
He still lacks one major thing, a body.
We just saw in the flashback that you have giant robot. That means you have the technology, so why not just make Noah a new robot body? I guess that'd make too much sense for them.
Oh, but Alex, you have to understand, they're a small indie company. You couldn't expect them to have that much resources to do this.
I digitize my own mind, retreating to cyberspace to plot my revenge.
Why does Gozubora exactly need to retreat to the digital world to plan his revenge?
Every virtual reality program has more than one emergency exit system.
Why would you ever assume that every virtual reality world has more than one exit?
Because I'm Seto fucking Kaiba.
Just drop a kaiju on that bitch, problem solved.
That would have been a very different
How could you
duel.
betray me? And after everything that I've done for you?
Yeah, like when I abandoned you in this glitchy virtual world and had no one to accompany you, then manipulated you into getting my petty revenge and calling you a failure multiple times.
I don't have a body of my own!
But what happened to yours, though? The show keeps cutting back to you in a pod, so you clearly still have it in some way, shape, or form. Were you in some sort of accident that 4 kids just cut out? Just how, like, your
Yes,
pig
given how
digitize
it
the
fell out
world
of a
is actually
window
just
in
to
the
bomb
original.
it in the
He
Japanese
jumped
version?
out
Even though
of a
Exodia
window.
Necros can't be sent to the graveyard, if I attack it with a more powerful monster, you still lose life points.
So get to the point, Seto!
But
That
that
was
is the
my
point,
point.
is that he can kill you without destroying your monster.
Never rely on the power of a single monster to win a duel.
Said Mr.
Isn't that
Blue
what
Eyes
you
for
did the
game.
whole time in Season 2 with Obelisk?
Oops.
Why not just use Monster Reborn to take out one of the pieces that's stopping you from destroying it either by card effect or battle?
Because this
If we're
doesn't
going
look
by
as
the original
badass.
text, you can still do this with Monster Reborn. So did Gozubora find a way to upload himself into this fire?
Looks
Well,
cool,
it looks
though.
like we finally made it through this train wreck of an arc. If you've made it this
I didn't think it was
far,
the
I wanna
worst arc
personally
ever. I
thank
did
you
kind
for
of
sitting
enjoy
through
some of the
this.
duels and
If
stuff
you
like
liked the
that. And it was
video,
nice
please
with the
consider
character development
subscribing
and
for
stuff
more
like that.
updates. Like part 2 of everything wrong with Yu-Gi-Oh!
This is
Season
considered
3,
the worst
where
arc
we'll
in
be completing the
Yu-Gi-Oh!
finals of
I
Battle
disagree
City's
with whatever.
tournament and pursuing
But we can
that,
get back to the
stopping
Battle
from
City,
collecting
guys.
all the god
Next,
cards. Thank you
part
everyone
2
for
of
being so
Season
patient
3,
with me through
aka
this
the
video.
actual
It took a
Battle
lot
City
longer to get,
parts.
and I hope that's because my editor slaves escaped. But since then, I have opened up a Patreon if you want to support the show. Any amount helps, but don't feel pressured to donate if you don't have the money to or you don't want to.
Why did you give
Videos will
Yugi
happen
eyebrows?
nonetheless, whether this gets supported or
No,
not.
it
It
is
just
realistic
helps
in
me
his
get
hair
more
color.
funds, to get more props, and upgrade equipment to make the quality of videos go up. Like with the money I've made off the episode so far, I bought myself a nice camera. So that means we no longer have to have a shitty phone
Once again,
quality with a
$7.
cracked camera lens. But I don't want that to come off as bragging, I just want to say that this couldn't be done without you guys. So without further ado, welcome to Everything Wrong with Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 3 Part 2.
Enter the Shadow
It's finally
Realm.
time to
We
move
start
the
giving
plot
it subtitles,
forward. No
everyone.
longer do we have to sit through a meaningless filler arc for 25 episodes that really added a lot to the Kaiba storyline. It really made me care for Mokuba and not the fact that he's an annoying fucking kid.
Hey, but Alex, isn't it super deep? Look how tragic their backstory was.
I don't give a flying fuck. Yeah, this must have been so important, just like the fact that everyone goes back to normal and acts like this never fucking happens. And the only time this is ever brought up again is in a flashback in the last episode episode by Taya.
In a
Also,
recap.
in the last episode by Kaiba as he's leaving the island. I don't give a fuck what any of you idiots say. That arc was garbage and it was filler, and fuck anyone who says otherwise.
You have the right to your opinion.
Let's calm down a bit, because that season's done and over with. Don't have to ever fucking talk about it ever again. And to all you fuckers who tell me that Yugi's height isn't actually changing, just look at this shit. He's has a literal height difference from this shot to this shot.
How did that fool make it this far?
I literally wonder this every day, but then I remember that plot armor exists. The four-way duel was actually a neat idea, but of course it isn't going to come without its own stupid bullshit to weigh it down.
Dueling decks to no more than 40 cards.
Wait, their deck limit is only to 40 now? How many have they been playing with this whole fucking time?
386.
Joey's like the type of guy who'd play 120 cards in his deck because they're all the best cards.
Hey, there's a
You
reason
can't
the card
possibly
limit is
cut
60
any of them
cards.
down.
But who should I
It's all because
This is anime. You should know better than anyone that you're going to fight the main villain that they've been building up this whole fucking time in the finale, and they can't have it any other way. You think writers would try to be different and do something else? Fuck no. Because idiots like you guys eat this shit up.
Oh my god, did you see how cool it was that Goku beat Jiren?
Congratulations. You are feeding uncreativity and showing them that, yes, we don't have to be different because this shit will sell like hotcakes no matter what. What's that? Maya's about to beat Merrick? Fuck no. Time to pull some bullshit out our asses because she can't beat him. Oh, what's that? Joey's gonna win? Ha! In a million years, retard. How is anyone supposed to see the attack points of their monsters if their fingers are blocking it? Even in the context of the Japanese version, they're still blocking the attack points on the card. This could be just some Mandela effect.
I'm telling you,
bullshit,
my
but I
Sword of
could've
Lancer
sworn
has
earlier
9
in the
million
show
attack
they were
points.
entering their spell and trap cards on the outside of the duel disc, but you see here they're entering them on the inside. I could be completely wrong with this and just remembering because the real life duel discs, you enter them on the outside, but I could have sworn. I will look through all the footage, hopefully, if I don't get too lazy. If I don't, I don't. But I will try to find it.
No, they push him on the inside.
Wow, it's almost like Joey's deck is a bunch of inconsistent boss monsters he's taken from other people jammed together with a bunch of other bullshit.
Who
It's
would've
not like I've been
guessed?
saying this since minute 1 of the show. So apparently Skull Dice was a spell card in this shot of the Japanese version, but 4Kids changed it to be a trap just like it is in the real game, so I guess I have to give them credit because they did something right for once.
You gotta relax. Play it cool. I'll place one card face down and end my turn.
Why not at least just set the Skull Dice to protect yourself so you would take less damage when they go to attack you?
He's an idiot.
At that moment, the doors to the future were opened up to me, and I saw Merrick's destiny unfold.
I still don't understand why Shizu didn't just stop Merrick from stealing Ra. If she could see the future and clearly knew this was going to happen, why not just intercept him from stealing it, like she did with
Because
Amos the
then we
Tormentor?
wouldn't have
You're
a
just
series.
as at fault as Merrick is. You let Odeon and Mai basically die for nothing.
Mirror Force. Deflect the attack back at Yugi, so your monster's destroyed.
You can't just redirect Mirror Force to the opponent you want. It
just
stops the
did.
person who's attacking. Ah, the classic cut to commercial
Yugi runs
break, and
7
when it
towards the
fades
bandits.
back in, you have one of your useless side characters explain step by
Recapping.
step what just happened. I get this is supposed to be made for kids, but are kids really this fucking stupid that you have to do it? I guess anyone who's stupid enough to idolize retards like Jake Paul and Rice Gum would need everything to be explained to them like this.
This four-way duel is confusing. What's the score?
How is Taya confused at the
We
score?
literally
It
have-
literally says everyone's life points on a big prompter on the wall. But the animators did forget to change the numbers, so I guess
they're all
there's a reason
2000
that she'd have
back
to
in Duelist
ask.
Kingdom.
Good old Ring of Destruction, being festive just in time for the holiday season by censoring the grenades with red Christmas bulbs. This launch thing
Ho,
seems
ho, ho.
incredibly unsafe if you're just propelling
launches them
upward
into
and you're
outer
standing on this
space.
platform, not
Whee!
secured at all. I can see this ending up like the amusement park ride, the Abyss Turbo Drop, where it flies all the way up and the fucking mechanic doesn't stop it, so it just keeps flying with all the people attached on. Like, just imagine Joey's getting shot up and woo, right off the fucking tower.
That would have been a hilarious gag.
Yeah, it's totally not like it's 2004 where landlines are already an established thing in almost in every single household, you smug little cunt.
If memory serves me, that Egyptian god card knocked you out cold.
Yeah, Joey, you were knocked out by being struck by lightning. That means you're a terrible duelist.
Yeah,
You also completely
seriously,
forgot the
Joey,
fact
what
that
the
it almost
fuck?
killed Odeon, but I guess that wasn't important enough to remember.
Nope.
Joey!
How the fuck did she hear that all the way down there? On Merrick's
got very
duel
good
disc, you can
ears.
see that Drillago is drawn as a normal monster, but it is an effect monster.
Oops.
So why is Joey taking damage when the attack
Well,
of
so is
Panther War is
Amazon
being lowered?
Swords
It was
when all the
stated earlier
Amazon's
that
monsters.
it's only when monsters are destroyed.
Except
He
Chainmaster.
must want me to attack his
Yeah.
Helpoemer so he can spring its special ability on me.
No
Joey
shit.
even acknowledges he shouldn't attack Helpoemer because it could have an effect in Grave. I guess all the zapping is lowering his IQ even further.
So, what's the deal with that card Merrick stuck in Joey's graveyard?
Fuck you, Taya. There is literally no reason you should not understand what Merrick's card does. He just stated that it rips a card out of Joey's hand once per turn.
Which I bet back then was
They
busted.
left the Japanese art of foolish burial, the tombstone with the cross on. I wonder if there was actually any backlash of some sort, or did nothing happen because no one actually fucking cares, yet 4Kids makes it their goal to censor
Would
as
not
much as they
shock
can
me
get away
either
with.
way.
It just took my Insect Queen.
It's mighty
Oh,
convenient
no,
that
Insect
Helpoemer
Queen.
only seems to be taking his boss monsters, despite the fact that he has other cards in his
If
hand.
anything,
What the
Helpoemer's
fuck is that
unbricking his
background? They
hand.
just forget to draw and like, fuck it, just put some distorted purple static. The kids won't notice it. What's up with Joey's face in these last few episodes? It looks like he's melting. Is this
Did you not
also
see
an
him in the
effect of
virtual world
Shadow
arc?
Duel? Lava Golem makes you take 1,000 damage, but I guess they did have to change it so Joey just didn't die in 3 turns.
Yeah.
How else are they gonna milk it for 6 episodes?
Hard to increase the attack points of your plasma eel. Once that happens, your machine duplication goes bye-bye.
If Joey increased the attack of the eels, it wouldn't make them go away because it exceeds the limit of Machine Dupe's attack requirement. You can't undo an action that's already happened.
I just
I'll
did.
activate Ra's ability of instant attack so it can attack now.
Here comes Ra's 17th new secret ability.
And finish him off
Whatever
so
we
you
need.
can save the world.
That was the cheesiest fucking transition I've ever seen. Once again, Merrick won by a bunch of bullshit and assholes, and people keep defending him that he's a great villain. So in the dub, they're playing up Merrick as being this untouchable, unbeatable force, but in the Japanese version, Merrick is visibly hurt and throws up after finishing his duel with Joey. I'm not really sure why they needed to cut these scenes out. How the
Make
fuck
him
did
more
you
evil.
get 70 life points?
There's actually a few things that could do it.
Yeah, just move this severely injured patient to put a fucking clunky ass dual disc on him while he's unconscious.
There,
Great
that
idea.
makes him
That'll
better.
make him feel better.
From some evil thingy.
Evil thingy? Really? You couldn't
Intelligent
use
dialogue.
any other descriptor for this?
Nope.
Right here.
Good.
Don't worry, Yugi. We're always sitting on the sidelines because we have nothing else to add to the plot. Like how the show has to keep cutting back to us while you're dueling Kaiba while we're sitting in the plane to remind the viewers of our existence. Change of Heart isn't a quick play spell, so how is Yugi able to activate
Because
it on
of one
Kaiba's
of
turn?
Kaiba's
Enemy controller
cards.
requires you to tribute one monster in order to take one, so at the end of the
Spell
day, you can still
Sanctuary.
only have 2 monsters on his side of the field. God damn it, 4Kids, stop getting things right so I have to keep praising you. In the Japanese version, Light Force Swords was a spell card, but in the 4Kids version, they changed it to a trap like it is in real life.
They made one mistake,
Lullaby
but
of
then they ended up
Obedience
fixing it
requires you
from
to
there
pay
on out.
2,000 life points.
Well, that card was
Exchange
made
isn't
after,
a
but
quick
whatever.
play spell, so it's still Kaiba's turn, so Yugi could not activate this card.
Spell
I'm
Sanctuary.
getting bored. And
You know,
so
we
are
stop
my
there now,
fans.
All your fans are holograms, so they can't get bored.
My only friends are imaginary.
Defeat my sister.
But all he's really done is just summon 3 monsters and fuse them together while Yugi pretty much bricked and is playing safe. So right here you can see Yugi has 3 cards in his hand and Jax Knight in the other one. One of those we know is Slifer. So once he summons Slifer, he only has 2 cards. So where did that extra card come from?
Down card is the life shaver trap he took from me.
This whole dilemma could have been easily avoided if you just set Life Shaver before activating Exchange. They keep acting like XYZ Dragon Cannon can be attributed to Summon Obelisk, but it's 1 monster. It isn't counted as 3, and it's not like ABC Dragon Buster, where it can split back into its original 3 parts. You're just stuck with it.
Has deafened your Sky Dragon with its extremely powerful shriek. And since your monster couldn't hear your command, I'm afraid your attack is cancelled out.
So apparently because your monster can't hear you, you can't conduct an attack now. Not really sure what it is with this
Can't
season,
read
but instead of just changing
basic,
card effects, they
you
decided
know.
to make everything a quick play spell, like card destruction. I guess maybe in an
Just
attempt to
read
make the
basic
duels seem
body
more
language.
interactive instead of just them standing around talking, maybe summoning 1 monster, attacking, and then cutting back to the other idiots who add nothing to this fucking plot,
Would make
but
it more,
exist
did
for
make it
some
more
reason.
interesting, though.
Hey, Yugs, you know you're my best friend. Pizza, pasta, fucking lasagna.
Oh, look at that. Kaiba just happened to have this 1 card that was useful in this hyper-specific instance that we'll never see again.
Yep.
Did you really think I'd stop mentioning that?
Dealing
No.
4,000 points of damage to everything in its path.
Where did this deal 4,000 damage from sacrificing 2 monsters come from?
The
During the
rider's
simulation
ass.
duel in episode 52, all it did was increase his attack. And then later they changed it so it would destroy all the monsters in the field. Now it's destroy all the monsters in the field and deal 4,000 damage. It doesn't even mention this on the wiki, so take that, you fuckers who go,
Hey, you sure just read the wiki? It's all explained in the wiki. It's explained in the Japanese version.
I guess Yugi got
shall
fed up
be
enough with
damaged.
Kaiba's use of plot armor cards, so he decided to start using them himself.
Yugi, I never thought you'd take such a cheap shot at my Egyptian god card.
But
Well, he did
isn't
what
that
you did.
exactly what you did with power balance, making Yugi ditch half his hand?
And then you
Yugi
get to
already
draw?
attempted to attack Obelisk earlier and then went into main phase 2 after it failed, activating Necromancy. Now he's trying to make another attack. It's YCS Denver all over again.
And it let you stop our battle before Slifer was unlucky enough to collide with Obelisk.
Electromagnetic Turtle is during your opponent's battle phase. It was mighty convenient that they changed it so it was during Yugi's turn so he wouldn't kill himself by attacking Obelisk. Gotta cut back to Mako and Rex to remind all the viewers that
That
there's
they
still
exist.
characters in this show. Card of Sanctity requires you banish all of your cards
Yeah,
in
this is
your
gonna
hand,
come up
minimum one,
eventually.
then draw 2 cards. But of course
Surprised
they
it
had to
took so
change it so
long.
Yugi wouldn't just automatically lose with Slifer only at 2,000 attack. As redundant as me mentioning these things are, it is also getting extremely repetitive and annoying when the show just keeps doing this so Yugi can win. Why not just write it so Yugi just doesn't win by an asshole and it feels like he actually outplays Kaiba? Oh wait, because that would require good writing skills. Do you think Kaiba Corp has to pay for all the screens they just broke?
And all the people they just injured with the glass going everywhere?
What clued you in on that? The fact he sounds just like you? Or the fact that he has the
Looks
same
just like
exact
you.
hair as you? I doubt many people have that hairstyle, especially during the age of the Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Mine's been playing tricks on me.
You'd think at this point that Kaiba would stop chalking this all up to his mind playing tricks on him, like when he could start reading Egyptian yet not knowing the language at all, or when he and Yugi were in the same flashback at the same time.
Wasn't that the same
Tricks,
card
I
art for
tell
the
you,
guillotine
tricks.
used during the Arcana duel? Why are they using it for Card of Demise now?
Because they
Well, during
ran out
this,
of
you can see
artwork
that
from
Obelisk the
Sister using
Tormentor
stock
is in
ones.
attack position, but in the actual context of the duel, he's in defense position.
Oops.
Why is nobody stopping Tristan from moving a severely injured person around like a rag
Because
doll?
everyone's
Joey needs to
useless.
see this. It might make him wake up.
Yeah, seeing that your friend
He
is in
needs to
trouble will
see
make
this.
you wake
I
up from your
can't
coma
see.
and crippled body. Great idea, Tristan. We'd like to interrupt this very important duel with a Joey dream sequence, where he's dueling someone's DeviantArt OC. How else are we going to milk these duels for another 7 episodes?
That your flute works on my hand as well.
How come Yugi always gets to keep using other people's spells, saying that it affects his side of the field as well?
Because he says
like
it
right
very
now, how he's using
convincingly.
Flute of summoning dragons to bring out his red eyes.
Would you argue
Did
with
Kaiba
Dan
just
Green?
forget that spellbinding circle was there? I mean, I can't really blame him, considering how much this duel's been interrupted by Joey dream sequences.
Was in critical condition a minute ago.
Come on, Doc, don't you know how anime works? Main character injuries don't actually matter unless it's plot relevant.
And for that, he'll need a polymerization card.
Can you really be sure, Yugi? Joey didn't need polymerization, so maybe Kaiba won't need it either this episode.
What the fuck?
Here's another example of them giving the quick play ability to more spell cards. Magic Formula was even in the show earlier this season when Taya was dueling the Penguin, but gotta have plot convenience so Yugi doesn't lose. We literally saw this interaction last episode. Why are we recapping it like it was a season ago or more? It's okay, Kaiba. We all know that Yugi cheated to win.
I'll accept this ridiculous challenge of yours. It shouldn't take too long.
Yeah, it's only 3 episodes this time. Shocking, really. How many times do we have to see Joey win in the flashback? Holy fuck, no wonder this took 3 episodes. Can you imagine waiting 3 weeks for this fucking duel to conclude, only for them to keep cutting away to a flashback that everyone already fucking remembers?
I know all about you and your face-down strategies.
Holy shit! Even Joey's figured this out!
Magic cards don't work on Gearfried.
But Gearfried cannot be affected by equipped spells because anytime they are,
Only
it
was the opposite
automatically is
version of Wild
destroyed.
Heart.
So, good try, I guess, Joey?
There goes literally his entire deck.
Fucking hell, dude, we really gotta milk this shit. How many more fucking flashbacks do I need? It's really
All of
getting
them.
old where a villain has the perfect chance to win. Like if Merrick dueled Yugi right here, he's completely distracted, trying to focus on Taya wondering if she's okay, that he could easily win, but he decides, fuck it. We'll
That's
go
not
win
fun.
later. And now Card of Demise has the correct art? Can fucking 4Kids make up their mind?
Nope.
But I'm gonna use a slightly different command code than you did, Kaiba.
So Joey just added in a command code and destroyed the monster instead of taking it. If we ignore the fact that they had this added effect, how the fuck would Joey even know the code? This isn't his card. He stole it from Kaiba. Do you ever wonder why it's called Blue Eyes White Dragon? Because in every scene that's in the anime, it's colored blue. Good old time wizard coming to save the day.
I know that Yugi has 2 Egyptian god cards, and Marek only has 1. But Yugi's are gonna be tougher to summon to the field.
Now the show is even acknowledging the fact that just because you have more god monsters doesn't mean your deck is inherently better, because it takes more effort to summon all of them. Maybe they'll put some budget into drawing us next time too. Left Arm Offering is a spell card. With all the quote-unquote mind games Marek is playing with all of his face-down cards, you think Yugi would use the Millennium Necklace to see the future. It's totally not like this is the whole reason the Shizu gave it to him. But I'm guessing that's because the show completely forgot its existence because it's not plot relevant right now. For as much as I think Marek is a shitty villain and his deck is a complete gimmick that should have never worked in a real duel with anyone more than 3
I do like
brain
the
cells,
trolling.
I am enjoying his taunting in this duel.
Yeah.
Fate has allowed the Pharaoh to draw the card
That's
you gave to him.
genius.
AKA the writers made him draw the one card he needed to win.
You must
So
have
nothing
given
new.
up. Why else would you place a card on the field without looking at it first?
Guess Marek hasn't seen enough anime because that means he's pretty much fucked when Yami does that.
Yep.
How is his floating eye exactly talking? In a close-up of Yami
moving,
Marek's
or
hand,
saying
he's
up.
holding Monster Reborn after activating Zombie's Jewel. You could also see that he's holding Fiend Sanctuary, even though Kaiba said in the earlier episode that only he had this card.
I never
When
noticed
Yami
that
first drew Fiend Sanctuary in place of without looking at it, you could see on the duel list that he has another spell or trap card set. But after the commercial break, when it re-shows him placing Fiend Sanctuary, only that card is set on the duel disc. Yeah, you could still see the other card on the field, just not on the duel disc itself. So apparently Deep Fusion gives back all of his life points now too.
Yugi wasn't able to successfully use the card I gave it.
What do you mean that was unsuccessful? If Marek didn't just defuse himself from his own monster, giving back all of his life points for no fucking reason, then he would have won the duel and quote-unquote used it correctly.
Just do whatever it takes to defeat him.
I just noticed how okay Yugi is with everything that's happening around him. Like how he's being possessed by an ancient spear and how he's losing his body to a dark magic children's card game battle. You'd think that he'd put up some effort, but nah, Yugi's just a fucking blank slate,
He
wet
trusts
blanket,
Yami
as bland
that
as a
much.
fucking saltine cracker. So he just goes along with all the bullshit that's told to him without questioning anything at all. Hey Pharaoh, don't you think this is a little ridiculous?
Shut up, Yugi. You must believe in the heart of the cards.
When Marek activates Monster Reborn, Ra's already shown on his duel disc. How come Yugi's the only one who gets to use Monster Reborn like it's a quick play spell? Like this is a mutually exclusive ability he has. Is that the power of the Millennium Puzzle? If it was, I can understand why people would want it so bad. Hey look, my Raigeki is now a quick play spell.
Obelisk's force becomes infinite.
Why didn't Kaiba use this ability of Obelisk during his duel with Yugi? He could have easily won then if he made Obelisk's attack infinity. Okay, I have to admit that this is a really fucking cool sequence of events. So you can look at Marek right now and see that he's wearing 3 golden rings around his neck and a golden band around each of his arms. When he gives Yami the Millennium Rod and the Millennium Ring, he has no golden neck rings. As the scene switches over to him and the gang talking on the dueling ring, Kaiba yells at the group and tells them to get the fuck out. He still has no neck rings. Also, his left armband is gone. Once he announces the tournament has ended, it shows that he has 2 neck rings on instead of 3 and his armband has returned. But once Kaiba says that the duel tower is about to explode and it cuts back to the group, Marek's left arm ring is gone again. Watch this. Where the fuck did it go?
Even though you only won that duel,
I didn't take it out from the first duel, then again,
Only won by forfeit. He had 1 life point left.
Cause in 1 hour, this island will explode.
Why the fuck would you have your tower self-destruct? That seems incredibly unsafe.
And petty.
Was that the oh no from Knuckles in the Sonic Adventure game?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Did no one realize the helicopter was right there as they were freaking out for the past 30 fucking minutes? Only Kaiba would nearly blow himself up to look super cool flying out of a Blue Eyes White Dragon jet.
Classic Kaiba.
Out of 30 takes, that was the best we got.
Yep.
You were like a sister to me.
We've had a total of 1 whole conversation. That makes us sisters now. The entire last episode of this season is a flashback of what happened during it. Way to give your fans a big fuck you for watching the entire time. Hey guys, do you want a cool ending? Fuck no. Here's Taya recapping what just happened. It's not like you totally just watched that whole fucking thing transpire. God damn, we finally made it through this season. We can move on to something more interesting like the Orichalcos arc in Waking the Dragons. Thanks for watching, guys.
Or
If you
we could
enjoyed,
do
I
a
ask
filler
that you please
movie
subscribe
instead.
for further videos.